Dear students, now we are going to see about the orbital elements, the orbital parameters, or otherwise called as Keplerian elements. Okay, so these orbital parameters are used to determine the shape, size and orientation of an orbit. So out of these params, the semi-major axis, okay, so the semi-major axis, it is used to identify the size of an orbit. Size of an orbit. And the eccentricity, this is used to find the shape of an orbit. Okay, so then the inclination and right ascension of the ascending node, or otherwise called as longitude of the ascending node. Okay, and the argument of Perigee. So these three parameters are used to find the orientation of an orbit. Orientation of an orbit. And this one final param, it tells us the satellite position in the orbit. Okay, so all these parameters are used to find the position and velocity of the satellite. So according to the Kepler model, the orbit is assumed to be elliptical. So eccentricity of an elliptical orbit lies between 0 and 1. See, the eccentricity. See, if an orbit is assumed to be elliptical, then the eccentricity lies between 0 and 1. Okay, so if an orbit's eccentricity is nearly 1, it is highly elliptical. Okay, it is highly elliptical. Or otherwise, if it is nearer to 0, then the orbit will be circular. So this is called the eccentricity parameter. Okay, now the semi-major axis. See, let us assume an elliptical orbit. See, an ellipse has two foci. Okay, that means two focal points. Usually all the ellipse shapes will be having two foci. Okay, so foci is nothing but the plural form of focus points. So this is the line, focal point. So now let us assume the earth is at this focal point. Okay, so this is earth and this one is satellite. Okay, so this axis is called as the major axis. Okay, so the distance between these two is denoted as 2a, and this one is the major axis. Okay, and the half of this will be called as semi-major axis, and it is denoted as small a. Okay, so likewise this distance. Okay, so this one is denoted as semi minor axis, and the half of this will be so this one is denoted as minor axis and this one is semi minor axis. Okay, so minor axis is denoted as 2b, and semi-minor axis is denoted as b. So the next parameter, see, let us assume elliptical orbit. Okay, so there are two foci. Okay, so a central axis connecting these two foci, and this is minor axis. This one is major axis, and this one is minor axis. Okay, so now the earth is situated at this point. Okay, so this point is called Perigee, and this point is called Apogee. I am telling why. See, the point where the satellite maintains the least distance with the earth. Okay, so the satellite, see, now the satellite is at this point. Okay, so where the satellite maintains the least distance, very less distance with the earth, so this point is called Perigee. So the point where the satellite maintains the maximum distance with the earth, that point is called Apogee. Okay, see, now the satellite is moving through this orbit, and now the satellite is over here. Okay, so this maximum distant point is called as Apogee.